DJ Sarah Giggle is an incredibly in-demand DJ, aren't you, Sarah? But your name, Sarah Giggle, is that your real surname?
Kind of. It became it, and I've never kind of lost it. And then I never kind of changed it because everyone then in the industry, people already knew me as that.
Is it because you've got a very vibrant personality that you've got that kind of nickname?
It wasn't even that started it. It was literally me being awkward. And then it just kind of followed from that.
Yeah.
And I've just never changed it. I probably should change it, but
I love it. I love it. So how did you get into DJing?
I kind of fell into it. I used to do TV, radio. Well, I used to do TV and modelling, fire breathing, stilt walking. So I was in the industry of entertainment in that way. And I used to dance for a lot of big events like Garage Nation and drum and bass events. So I was always in music. But I decided that I needed to do something a bit different. And one of my friends was like, oh, I'm doing a DJ competition. I was like, oh, like that's hard. And he went, go on then, you try. So I was like, go on then, we'll give it a month and I'll do it. So I bought vinyl decks, I bought a whole setup, took it home, was terrible, then started to teach myself, and then I was like, right, well then it sounds silly. I started hearing the mixes that I was hearing out and things like that, I would then try and do, because then it was like similar, and then it just escalated.
You mentioned vinyl DJing there, so do you still take vinyl out when you DJ?
No.
No. Are you pleased that those vinyl days are over?
My back is pleased. Do you know what? It's made a massive comeback though. Recently, so many people are loving the vinyl side of things, and I think that's great.
Yeah.
Not for your bank balance and your back, but other than that, it's really good. And it sounds silly, I'm starting to move more with I'm starting to do a bit more producing again, which is nice, but as in, I didn't love that side. I prefer the performing side. Yeah. So for me, I love USBs because I can fit more of music on it because I'm very, very open format as a DJ.
Yeah. So what genres do you play?
Any.
Well, nothing's off limits.
I don't play trance.
Yeah.
It sounds silly. It's a niche and a hard dance. It's just not what I love, so I would find it quite hard. I've done an Indian wedding, I've done bar mitzvahs, and if it's very much out of my depth, if I got a list of music from someone and it was very much not what I play, I would often even say, look, this isn't kind of exact. You're not going to get the same as if you get a specialist for this. And so if someone sent me, which they have done in the past, a very, very American Western playlist.
Yeah.
I was like, this is very out of my depth. Are you sure you don't want to get a specific person in? And they said no. Yeah. They wanted me. Yeah, I've played everything from Western to house to garage, R&B, drum and bass, dancehall, bashment,
diverse.
Bollywood. Yeah, different.
So when you get booked for a gig, like a wedding or a birthday party, how do you work with a client to curate their perfect evening?
I'm probably one of the few DJs that would say I love it when they do give me a playlist, not 700 songs on a playlist, but as in some extremes, like we like this garage song, we like this R&B style, we like this. Do you know why? Because it gives you a big insight into how far you can go with the music. Because if they just said, oh, we like R&B, yet they actually prefer 90s hip-hop R&B, it is quite different to current R&B. Because also, as I've learned over many years, people will say, oh, I love techno. And then when they send you a song, it's actually just house music. So you'll often find that someone will see one genre of music completely different to what we as DJs would classify it.
So can you name me some of your favourite gigs that you've played at?
Oh God, last year I played a massive 20,000 people stadium event in Budapest and it was unreal.
Wow.
And I loved it. I didn't love losing my voice before the first day, so I couldn't speak for the first day, but the second and third day was amazing. I absolutely loved it. I do events for that company all the time and I really love playing for them. It's just a great vibe. And after playing for them twice, they were like, we're going to let it be you, do you. So now there's like no restrictions.
Brilliant.
So it means that I pick up the microphone, I come out and I dance and I love it. And then I've got residencies that I play at that I really like, that are really chilled. Like I play a lot of rooftops in London and they're really chill vibe and I love them for that. And then I've got party and pop ones that I play in London that are really fun to play, and you meet wicked people. So yeah, I play a whole host of things, and it's hard to pick out singular gigs where you're like, oh my God. New Year's Eve in Dubai was great.
If a SpinSisters client was looking at booking you, why should they book you?
Why should they book me? If you want a personality, definitely book me. Just because I wouldn't say I'm totally different to others because we all play similar music in that sense. But as in, I often like to try to think that I go beyond what some DJs do, where you take your playlist and you just play it. I don't. I'm like, oh, would you like to try and add a bit of this into it? I'm very like I said, interactive. That's the thing I think would be my like selling point, is that I'm very friendly, kind of that go in, and I always try to work out what would be best. And then I always try to make it very interactive for everyone. Like as in, oh, would you like if your colour scheme is gold, do you want me to be in gold? Would it be good for this? Do you want some songs that like that? So I'd just say I'm quite, what's the word?
Versatile?
Yeah.
And do you take requests?
Often, but if they're really bad, sometimes I'll say you need to ask the bride and groom to come and tell me if I'm allowed to play it. Sometimes the bride and groom are adamant they don't want certain tracks. So I'm always, sometimes I'll err on the side of caution and just be like, would you ask them to tell me if they want me to play that? Because sometimes they really just don't want that vibe at the wedding.
Yeah.
And it's their day.
Exactly. Client first. But what if the dance floor's kind of dying and you are playing at a wedding or a birthday party? Do you have some go-to tracks that you kind of keep up your sleeve that you think, yeah, well, if the dance floor is dying, this will get them back on there?
Yes, but usually you can preempt it and throw in things and go on the route that you think would work best for, because it depends who you've got in front of you. You'd think, oh, that'll work great. You could play it and it just doesn't work how you think it would, yet someone could give you a request and it's something completely that you wouldn't expect, and then it throws it completely on the other way of it. The requests are great because they actually give you a better insight into the people in the room that you wouldn't have totally read from looking at the person.
Have you got any funny stories from your DJ career?
Funny
Anything
stories.
that sticks out?
Things are always, or something will always go crazy sometimes, like as in a full power cut in Turkey in the middle of a massive performance with me and singer and sax and God knows what. And everyone turned around and I picked up the microphone, knowing full well the microphone's not going to work, and shouted to everyone, wait, it's a power cut. Anyway, clap, clap. And everyone's like, if it's a power cut, how can we hear you? And I was like, because I'm just too loud. And everyone just laughed. You always have to kind of think something unprepared is always going to happen. Like a DJ pulling your USB out in the middle of a set because they're changing
Had that one.
It's kind of like you've always kind of just got to think, okay, I'll just deal with it as it happens, because something will always change, something will always be different. Just learning not to ever panic, because the panic makes you more anxious and makes it all go even worse.
And when you're not DJing, because you are extremely busy, you do sort of pack in quite a lot of gigs, don't you? What do you like to do to relax and, just chill out?
Oh, outside of DJing, what do? I walk the dog. On one of my gigs the other year, because I do so many hours standing sometimes, I actually tore part of my Achilles. So I now have to train in the gym most weeks, so I don't have that problem again. So I train in the gym a lot. If I ever get spare time, well, because outside of DJing, sometimes now I do like TV, acting. I do other aspects to it. And this year I'm trying to push some of that stuff more. So I do like fitness shoots and stuff like that. So I love golf. I want to do more golf shoots. If there's anyone out there looking for golf models, that's me this year, please.
And talking about visual aspects to it, do you have a lot of sort of clothes that you wear for when you're, different clothes, different outfits when you go out DJ?
When people are specific and go, oh, our theme is pink. Could you wear pink? Could you wear that? I love that, because I like, when people book me for gigs, I like being a part of it. So if I just turned up in a white T-shirt and trainers, I would feel like I'm only doing half a job. And I think that probably comes from being a performer and doing the fire and the stills, where we have costumes and you basically immerse yourself in the event. But I feel like that is a part of who I am. I like being a part of it.
That's it. I think, that's probably why you're so successful, because you don't just play records, you perform.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
I'm a personality as well. Some people either love that or hate it. It is a bit Marmite.